for which I'd like to go through some background, and you may stop me at any time.
Stop.
Excellent.
Take you at your word.
All right. So, yesterday you spoke about a template level of existence just above our
Yes,
reality.
the higher self level.
In which the higher self resides, yes.
Yes.
At that level, it's been my understanding that energy exists. One of the ways of perceiving energy as existing is in geometrical shapes, geometrical patterns,
Yes.
fractal patterns.
Yes.
And in this level of reality, living...
You mean your physical level
Yes.
or the template level?
In our physical level. In
Yes.
our physical level of reality, everything is created in an approximation of that template level.
So to speak.
Okay. Now, so for example, would it be fair to say that you must be in form in order to affect form? You must be in manifest form in order to affect manifest form?
Not always.
Okay.
However, by being used to the idea of experiencing some level of manifest form, there is certainly a closer vibrational relationship that may allow for what you are referring to as ease of manipulation. Yes, in general, yes. It isn't an absolute that it must be so.
Okay.
It depends upon the level of cognizance of the consciousness, the reason for the interaction with physical form, and the agreements made.
And the agreements made.
And the agreements made.
Between your personality self and your higher self, you mean? Or between all
also-
beings existing in that?
Yes.
I see.
And any level in between.
Okay. Now, our consciousness is housed in, or perhaps this, correct me if I'm wrong, but our consciousness is housed in this vessel, right? Our bodies that we call our body.
No. Your body is housed in your consciousness.
I see. Okay.
It only appears as if your consciousness is housed in your body from a physical point of view.
Right.
The idea of your so-called spirit leaving the body is simply a physiological reality perspective of your consciousness expanding beyond the parameters of your physical manifestation. Mm-hmm. So the body is actually contained in the spirit. The spirit is not contained in the body. However, what the body does provide, and what is in a sense contained in the crystallized vibrational pattern of the physical form, is the mind. You understand?
Yes.
The mind, the physical mind, is the product of the physical form and is contained in a sense within it, but not consciousness itself. Make sense?
Yes.
All right. It is expressed through that, but it's not contained within the body.
So what I'm interested in is that expression and how that expression can be most effective, so to speak. How we can most effectively coherently channel energy from that higher plane, from that template plane, into this physical reality.
Act upon your highest joy. Every given moment to the best of your ability. That's the formula. Because that's the compass needle that aligns you to your true self. And thus, when you are acting on your highest joy, being in the vibration of your true state of being, your most natural creative state of being, that allows all communication between all such created levels to become far more homogenized, synchronous, and harmonious. Mm-hmm. Make sense?
Yes.
That's why we say following your highest joy is the driving engine and the organizing principle, not only of the things going on in physical reality, but of all levels of your being as well. It makes you a more conductive conduit.
Yes. In following my highest joy, I've become very interested, fascinated really, by the idea of, or the ideas of sacred geometrical expression.
Yes.
And creating physical objects in utilizing that knowledge in order that they best, or that they better...
that they best reflect that level of consciousness
Yes.
that expresses itself that way in the physical material experience.
Yes. In that search, in that exploration, let's say, I've come to find that one of the things that is used over and over, that comes up over and over, is the golden mean.
Yes.
That ratio.
Phi ratio.
Phi ratio.
1 to 1.618.
Yes.
Yes.
Now, by creating objects, like I understand that our body, our physical body, is already built in that state,
Yes.
and therefore it is a perfect vehicle of manifestation.
Yes.
As you say, we come in with everything that we need.
Yes. It is a perfect resonator.
It is a perfect resonator.
Yes.
However, you still, from what I understand, your society still builds, for example, ships.
Yes.
In what is the purpose of that? Could you achieve that simply with your body, or are the ships acting as an extension of your body?
The ships are acting as an extension, and they are also for the purpose of interacting with dimensions such as yours that still require physical symbols.
Aha. How long do you foresee our dimension requiring those physical symbols? I mean,
about 1,000 of your years.
Okay, so because I am very interested in developing those type of technologies.
Yes, and many people on your planet have begun to do so.
Yes. My question to you then is,
yes,
where do you recommend, like, how do you recommend I best? What's the source?
How to begin?
Yes, how to begin? Where to look?
Research now on what you call your internet system, anti-gravity lifters. Start there.
Okay.
You will find that these are constructions of very light materials, primarily what you call balsa wood and aluminum, being given electrical charges of high voltage. They will begin to exhibit levitation effects, and as you begin to grow in your experience and research and gain more practice with these and understand the effects that are being created, then you will gain more insight into how to take the next step.
Okay. Thank you for that. That interests me as well. However, I wasn't necessarily referring to only propulsional systems.
Neither am I.
Ah.
Because the principles are the same for any kind of energy delivery system. It's just a matter of how you channel the energy that you're tapping into from higher dimensions as to what kind of an effect you create. Be it simply powering things, or creating ships, or opening dimensional gateways, or what have you.
Music.
That too, since it is all about resonance.
It is. So I have here an instrument that I brought. I'm not sure if you're familiar with it. It is called the hung.
Define.
Would you like me to show you, demonstrate?
By all means.
All right, thank you.
Just exactly what are you unzipping?
So this is this is an instrument. It's an instrument similar to a steel drum.
All right.
It is a steel drum.
Oh, thank you.
Yes.
That's quite similar.
Yeah. It was created in the year 2000 by a Swiss man. Yes. Here you go. This is the hung.
Show it from the side. Bashar, it looks like a UFO, our definition of a flying saucer.
All right.
So, and here's how it sounds. Okay. Now.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Now, one of the things sometimes people will say when they see the crafts on your planet that you refer to as UFOs, sometimes they will be silent, but very often they will also describe hearing different kinds of resonant tones in association with the craft. People on your planet have assumed, because of the way your technology works, that the sounds are the result or the effect of the motivation of the craft, when in fact the sounds are the motivating force of the craft.
Wow.
Uh-huh.
Vibration is the key. And you are on your way to understanding this, quite musically.
Yes.
Understand that we have described the concept of moving from location to location in a different way than your people think of location. The idea is that location is not a place that an object exists in. Location is one of the properties of the object. And an object in location A is not the same object when it is in location B, because now it has the vibrational resonant variable of location B, and that makes it a different object.
Yes.
If the object in location A were suddenly engulfed and overwhelmed by the vibration equation that represents the object in location B, the object would simply have no choice but to move to location B instantaneously, because that's its new vibrational signature.
I see.
So if you make sure that the craft in that sense is very, very thin and light, so that there is not that much material in it, and so that a vibrational resonance can easily overwhelm the natural vibration of its tendency to stay in one location, then it will have no choice but to take its cue from the new vibration and move.
I see.
Thank you.
Thank you. If I may, one more thing.
Yes.
So, in the if as I said, I don't know if you can see this on a physical level as
We can sense
I
the
see.
energy involved.
all right. Well,
We see it as an intricate, interwoven web of patterns.
okay. Now, in as I see it in a physical form, in its physical form,
Yes.
it is very close approximation of a 3D rendering of the object known as a vesica Pisces, the
Yes.
intersection
Yes.
of two circles.
Yes.
I've theorized that if it were a more perfect rendering of that, it would increase its, let's say, efficiency, potentiality.
Your theory is correct.
I see.
Although there are variations depending upon the different dimensions that such a device may choose to inhabit.
Can you please clarify that?
Your dimension in that sense will look at the vesica Pisces in a certain way, but in other dimensions it will be of a slightly different shape, although to them it will appear to be normal, but to you it would appear to be distorted
I see.
because of the dimensional vibrational difference.
I see.
Nevertheless, it is the change and shift in frequency that represents the distortion that allows the craft to go from one dimension to another. But you can begin with what you understand to be the perfect ratio for your reality.
Now, and so in that sense, would you still recommend that I research the same thing that you recommended? The
I would,
okay.
because it still has to do with resonance, and there is still much for you to discover in that concept. Use what works. You don't have to use what doesn't. But there are bits of information in there that you will be able to add to what you are doing that will make a difference down the road.
Okay.
All right?
All right.
Does that help you?
That does help me.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Good day, Bashar.
And to you, good day.
So I am in very good contact with my spirit guides.
Very good contact.
Yes.
Oh, all right. Invite each over for tea now
Yes.
and then.
We
All
hang
right.
out. It's great. And much of what you've imparted to us today has come to me in different ways along the way.
Yes.
And
All of this is available to all of you.
there's one, thank you, yes. And there's one question that is challenging me, and I'm hoping that you
Oh,
can
all right.
clear it up.
What is your exciting challenge?
Oh, my exciting challenge is that I am unclear about how child abuse or abuse of, let's say, war in a country where innocent people in their home just going about their business
Yes.
are suddenly traumatized.
Yes.
And I would love to understand your perception of that.
I will give you 2 out of many reasons why such things can occur on your planet. All right?
Thank you.
Number 1, an individual as a spirit may choose to come into a situation where they know something like that may occur, so that they know also that the occurrence will allow itself to act as an example to others in that reality, so they can look at what their reality is like and decide to make sure that that never happens again.
Yes.
So that being will have, in that sense, endured that in order to function as a living example that can change reality and change people's ideas about how they wish their world to be. Secondly, when you are born into physical reality on your planet, because of the nature of the way consciousness has compartmentalized itself, many individuals will receive or get downloaded by their parents telepathically with their parents' fears, doubts, and so on and so forth, and the negative belief systems. When these are imprinted into the child and the child grows up without necessarily knowing that they are carrying these imprints, they may thus unknowingly attract themselves into situations that are representative of the negative fears that they are unaware of, and the negative situations that happen thus bring to their attention that they may have belief systems that would make it more likely for them to attract themselves into such situations than anything else. And that can act as an example for them to get in touch with that, so they can also change that situation for themselves.
Yes, I see that.
All right. These are 2 ideas of why such things happen. It is not in that sense a justification, but these things can still be used in a positive way to allow things to be different. If you use them that way, then they will have served a positive purpose. If you allow as a species this to simply continue on, then in that sense you will simply be caught up in your own cycle of self-perpetuation. But remember that regardless how difficult, drastic, abusive, heinous, negative many of these things may seem, and again, this is not a justification, it is not an excusing of the perpetrators, because it is up to each and every being to get in touch with their own source of power and understand that they do not need to do those kinds of things in order to express the power that they wish to express. The idea of the lesson here is to understand that these things only really happen on your planet because there is such a strong investment in disempowerment. And the idea is that people on your planet are not taught to believe that they are empowered. They are taught to believe they are disempowered. And when a person is taught to believe they are disempowered, they will rebel against it. And they will take as many people with them down their spiral as they can, because they don't want to be alone. So it may actually be a distorted expression of love, because if that's the only way they have been taught to express the idea of connection negatively, then they will express with the only tool they have at hand, destructiveness.
Yes.
You follow me?
I do.
So these are all opportunities for individuals to get a handle on the true core reasons why these things happen and allow the change to occur, instead of going into victimization that again has to do with blame, complaint, and justification.
Yes.
Does this help you?
It surely does.
And one more thing, remember, and again, not a justification in that sense, not an excuse. From the spirit level, these things are extremely temporary. Have you ever had what you call a bad dream and then woken up and gone, oh, that was just a dream?
Yes.
All right. When you die and go into spirit, that's exactly what you do. Oh, physical reality, just a bad dream for a moment. It's not really who I am. You follow me?
Yes.
So there's that perspective too. And so from the spirit perspective, sometimes beings will understand that even though they know they may be becoming physical in a world that is somewhat chaotic and expresses itself somewhat abusively, they still know it is not really in any way, shape, or form permanent, and from their perspective, not really real. And they know, even though the idea of the physical mind and the higher self may experience the difficulty, it is still something that the soul can use in a positive way. And the idea is, again, to act as an example to the world, to bring it in front of everyone's face that if such things are the way of the world and you don't prefer them to be that way, then do something constructive about it. And that way things will change.
Beautiful.
Now, remember also that you're, as a world, pretty much near the end of the cycle of all the negativity. And so, in a sense, there isn't that much time left in which to experience the idea of negative reality. And so what you're doing now is getting it all up out of your system very rapidly, bringing it all out onto the table so you can decide what you do and don't prefer your world to be. Make sense?
Yes.
So the more actively involved you people become in the idea of helping to teach empowerment to people who have been taught disempowerment, the greater, faster, and more profound the healing will be. All right?
Yes, and I have another part of the question.
Oh, all right.
I feel like I vacillate between definitely being in touch with my higher self and then some of my domestications, which
Yes.
want me to have a reaction to the abuser.
Yes.
And so I would love to have clarification from you on though I could probably say it's best to send love and to be loving, there's a part of me that fears that if I don't sort of scold or that's not the right word, but have some sort of reaction to the abuser, that the abuse will continue. I just answered myself, but
yes,
you
instead of
answer
a
me too.
reaction, have a response. And allow the energy to be this if you're going to interact. That you understand that they are abusers because they have been abused. And they are only continuing a chain of events. The idea is to allow them to understand, if they wish to, that there is a way for them to feel empowered instead of disempowered. And that will help not only them, but everyone. Does this make sense?
It does. And
the idea of reacting in the negative way. For the initial 15 seconds, your angry reaction is a natural reaction, a natural response that gives you an energetic alignment so that you understand vibrationally that you are a vibration that is different than that vibration. It aligns you to where you stand.
yes.
But beyond that 15 seconds, it then dissolves into judgment.
Right.
And if it dissolves into judgment, what you're actually doing is judging portions of yourself.
And then matching the vibration in
Yes.
yourself to the...
And that's what the phrase means, judge not lest ye be judged.
Yes.
It doesn't mean you're being judged from outside. It means that as you judge, you take yourself to that level.
Yes.
And that's not going to help anyone heal. It's only going to perpetuate more judgment, more abuse. Understand in that sense that it takes a victim to make a victim. You understand?
Yes, I do.
So when you don't look at them as victims, because that's how they look at themselves,
Yes.
and you see them as empowered beings that have the ability to find their power and change, that energy is at least an offering to them of the best opportunity to give them a chance to change, not that they have to. You follow me?
Yes.
And we understand that on your planet, because of the nature of some of those acts, that you have your ways of dealing with these things. But that's only, and ever only will be, a temporary measure. And it will not break the cycle until you actually teach people how to regain their self-empowerment.
Yes.
So there are a variety of creative and imaginative ways that people are doing that on your planet. You can come up with your own way as well, or a variation on a way that is being done, and you can start at the child level, the intermediate level, the adult level, or all of the above. It's up to you as to what motivates you, what moves you, what empowers you to empower them, if they choose empowerment. But you can make it clear as possible, that that's the choice to make, and that the only reason that they feel the way they do is because they have been taught disempowerment, and that what they are doing that they think is representative of power is actually representative of disempowerment. And you can teach in whatever way works for you that the greatest power requires the lightest touch. Here's an example. You are familiar on your planet with the idea of building blocks, yes?
Yes.
All right. You can take building blocks and build a tower. And then you can take another pile of blocks and just scatter them on the ground. And then ask a person, what is easier, to build a new tower or to knock that one down? They will usually say, well, knocking that one down is easy. Yes. Why is it easy? Because destruction takes no power.
Wow.
It takes power to create.
Yes.
And in those kinds of imaginative examples, you can start to teach people the difference. You follow me?
Yes.
Thank you.
Do you mind if I ask you one more question?
Do I mind? No.
Do you spirit if I ask you one more question?
Go ahead.
We live in a paradigm where pity and sensitivity and compassion are necessary. I don't know, is pity necessary? Compassion is necessary. So when dealing with victims or
Yes.
people who have had abuse,
Yes.
it is expected that we react in a certain way.
Respond with compassion.
Yes.
Do not support the negativity with the idea of pity or sympathy. But empathy and compassion are empowering.
Thank
Pity
you.
and sympathy are disempowering.
Yes,
You
okay.
see the difference
yes, I do, I
vibrationally?
do. I have at times reacted. I'm a very compassionate person. I don't think I could not be compassionate.
All right.
And sometimes my reaction to people's pain, because I react in a different way than what's the general paradigm,
Yes.
has been considered
Cold.
Yes, not cold, but offensive, because
all right.
I like to use humor a lot.
All right.
And so
It is all right to exhibit compassion by also just sitting with someone. You don't have to take them out of their feeling. That's not necessarily compassion, because the acknowledgement of the feeling is the first step in changing it. You can't change what you don't own. So the idea is not to cajole them out of what they're feeling, but to truly be with them in what they're feeling in a way that can then gently guide them in another way, in an appropriate manner. If you rush to use humor to pull them out of the doldrum, you yourself may actually be scared of feeling what they're feeling and not wanting that in your reality, which means you're actually disempowering yourself instead of being able to know you're strong enough to be able to hold them in your energy arms while they go through what they go through, and gently coax them back into their empowerment when it's appropriate.
perfect.
You follow?
I do
Does that help?
perfectly. Thank you.
Good day, Bashar.
And to you, good day.
My question today is on neutrality.
Neutrality.
Yes. You have mentioned that there is no right or wrong, nor good or bad, but instead negative and positive.
That which integrates, that which segregates.
Yes, which also can be stated as lower and higher vibrations, negative being lower and positive being higher.
In a sense, yes,
Yes.
because it is integrative, thus exponential in that sense, whereas segregational is compartmentalization, which in that sense causes detachment and disconnection.
Yes, thank you. What I see neutrality as is a tool that allows absolute choice to choose what you prefer at all moments.
Yes, and thus you can understand, as we have said, that the universe is actually slightly oriented to the positive.
Yes,
Because neutrality allows you to choose, which is a positive state of being. So in that sense, technically speaking, just to use some arbitrary numbers, the universe is actually 51% positive and 49% negative. Because the middle point, the neutral point, is not actually totally, absolutely neutral. Neutral in and of itself, by definition, affords you a choice, and that's positive.
Thank you. Well, my question is neutrality used to aid one to enlightenment, and is it in the
I just
aiding,
told you it was.
Well, I mean, is it in the aiding from third to fourth, and when one completely understands neutrality and is in a neutral state, does one ascend?
Depends on what you mean by ascend. It always uplifts your frequency, but if you're not done with your physical theme, you will not become non-physical, if that's what you mean, until you're done.
Well, does your society and beings on higher densities, do they still use neutrality?
Always. That is primarily what is used.
But are you only in bliss and there's no moments for you to use neutrality because there's no negativity for you to see?
In a sense, you might put it this way. Neutrality is the lowest state we ever go into.
So exactly. So for us to master it, then we will ascend.
Yes, which simply means you will shift upward to whatever degree is appropriate for you at that particular moment.
Okay. You have mentioned to me before that there's a certain way of experiencing it, which was in a neutral bubble as an observer.
Yes.
How many different levels of neutrality are there?
There is only one.
Okay, so in that bubble, as seen an observer, seen from that view, is that one level?
If you are asking if neutrality can be experienced from different levels, the answer is yes. But neutrality itself does not, in a sense, exist in different levels. It is a level, in a sense, or a place, in a sense, or a vibration, in a sense, that any level can tap into.
Okay. And one question you didn't answer earlier, which was I wrote this down a couple of days ago, which was the test factor. Is
Yes.
when you make a change, you instantly start to test yourself. And does that go with every single change? Or
It depends. No. If you understand there is no need to do that anymore, you will not do that anymore.
Okay, but it works more and more on belief systems.
Yes, of course.
Okay.
It's just that, generally speaking, on your planet, your consciousnesses have been so fragmented and so compartmentalized that you have so many different belief systems to bring up that the self-testing may go on for a little while until you finally are willing to let go of needing that.
Well,
Then you won't experience it that way.
Does the self-testing go on if you keep on reacting until you respond to the test, then you will pass it, correct?
Generally, yes.
Okay. And
Unless there is another underlying belief system that says the test will continue even if I respond.
Okay. And one last question.
Yes.
What is the highest vibrational music in our world today?
The highest vibration of a particular individual, you mean?
No.
Physically?
Vibrational music. Music with the highest vibration for uplifting purposes. Well, death metal can be a very low vibration, classical very high, but what's the highest?
I assume you mean physicalized music.
Yes.
One moment. It will, of course, within a certain range, depend upon the vibration of the person hearing it. We understand that there is a general truth to what you are saying about certain forms of music having higher or lower vibrational effects. But in terms of a high vibration, from our point of view, what you heard a while ago is one of the highest.
The instrument that was played earlier?
Yes.
Okay, well, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Hey, Bashar. Hello.
And to you, good day.
Thank you. So, you mentioned earlier about...
Speak up and be bold so that all may hear what you have to share.
you mentioned earlier about opposite ends of the spectrum, the reds and the violets.
Yes.
I've been experiencing in my dreams and in waking, I just see reds and violets
All right.
popping up everywhere.
All right.
But just those two, the two opposite
That's
ends.
all right. In that sense, you are simply giving yourself representations of the polar opposite vibrations, in that sense bouncing back and forth between them so that you can achieve what we were actually just talking about with the last individual, a sense of balance in between and a state of neutrality that encompasses the entire spectrum.
Okay, cool. And
It's whatever temperature you want it to be.
And in my dreams, whether I accept that I'm dreaming or not, whenever I ask somebody if I'm dreaming, they'll deny it. They deny it. And when I'm awake and I ask someone that if I'm dreaming, they'll say yes.
All right.
Why, when I'm asleep, do they deny it, and when I'm awake?
Again, you are dealing with the concept of polarities and allowing yourself to find a place in the middle. You see, this is another example of what we have termed the watermelon seed paradox. If you have a watermelon seed and you squeeze it between your thumb and forefinger, hard as you can, it cannot go up, it cannot go down. You are faced with a conundrum you cannot answer, and yet you must answer. When you squeeze hard enough, the seed will shoot out in a new direction, neither up or down, but open a new doorway to a new way of seeing. So what you are doing is you're giving yourself paradox and conundrum that you feel you cannot answer, but you feel you must answer, and that will squeeze you in a new perspective, in a new direction. That's what you're doing.
Yes,
These are the games you're playing with yourself energetically to point you in a new direction.
That's great. Thank you.
Yes, thank you.
That's it.